Hello yogis, Kathy here. Welcome to another practice with me. As the days are getting colder outside, we're starting to maybe move a little bit slower, taking time to relax indoors and enjoying the cooler weather. This class is all about taking our Hatha practice, slowing it down and building some yin elements to it. So this slow flow class will target all parts of our bodies, we'll move slowly through the movement, adding some repetitiveness to increase our range of motion and focus on some yin-like stretching for the larger muscle groups as well as our joints. So for this class, we're going to need a few props, always optional. So 2 blocks and a strap, and anything else you need to make yourself comfortable, such as a cushion or a bolster. When you're ready, we'll get started in a wide-legged child's pose position on our mats. If you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the section below to let me know what you liked about this video and anything else you would like to see or work on here on my channel. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to receive more yoga videos just like this. When you're ready, let's get started. Alright, so let's get set up in our wide-legged child's pose. So we're going to have our knees open to the width of our mat. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to walk our hands straight forward and at the same time push our hips back towards our heels. Coming down onto your forearms, maybe reaching forward through the fingertips. You can place a block or a bolster underneath your sternum. Taking a deep breath out, exhale, sinking the hips back. Dropping the forehead down towards the floor, sinking the hips back towards the heels with every exhalation. And take a few deep breaths here to center our bodies, preparing for practice. Begin to breathe in through the nose, taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, softening through the chest and shoulders, melting the hips back, relaxing through the head, neck, shoulders, allowing the breath to soften along the entire length of the body as you breathe out. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head, and exhale, sinking the hips back. Begin to find your pattern of breath, finding the rhythm in your inhalation and exhalation. Try to see if you can hear the sounds of your breath as you breathe in through the nose and exhaling through the nostrils. As you move through our practice, see if you can maintain this length and depth of breathing, connecting our breath to our movements when we're moving, and using this breath to help you stay steady and still in the longer held postures. On the next breath in, we're going to take an inhale, rock up onto our hands and knees, making your way up into a tabletop position. So let's keep our shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Taking a deep breath in, let's drop the belly, lifting the chest, lifting the sit bones. Exhale, start to round, chin to chest. Inhale, arching through the back, lifting the gaze, lifting the sit bones. And exhale, press everything down, rounding through the spine, push the floor away. Inhale, drop the belly. Heart lifts, gaze up. Exhale, hands press down. Deep breath out. Following your own breathing pattern, we're going to move through a few cycles just like this, focusing on the breath and movement connection. One more. And I'll come back to center. We're going to start to rotate our torsos in a circle. So bring a rotation to the spine. Inhale, we drop down the center in cat. Exhale, we round up over to the left side and across to the right. And let's switch directions. Breathing in, cat. Exhale, round the spine. Breathe it out as we travel to the left side. Right to left movements. Massaging at the spine, increasing mobility through our spinal column. And coming back into center. From our tabletop, we're going to inhale all the way down onto our belly. Breathing out. Inhale, pressing down to your hands. Lifting up, baby cobra. Start to rock from side to side, lifting the hip bones off the floor one side at a time. Inhale, maybe looking back at your toes. Exhale to center. Begin to gently twist through the spine. Moving side to side. And exhale, we're going to slinky all the way down, pressing down into your forearms. We're going to come up into Sphinx pose. So grabbing for opposite elbows, we're going to measure out the distance, shoulders over the elbows. Placing our forearms down onto the floor. We're going to pull back. As you pull the forearms back, we're going to try and lift the chest forward, drawing the heart center towards the top of the mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Sending your hip bones down to the floor. Relaxing the belly. Breathing down all the way to the back toes. Softening the breath. Keep the neck long, drop the shoulders. And let's release all the way down. Take an inhale, hands underneath the shoulders. Press up into cobra or lifting the thighs off the floor, upwards facing dog. And exhale, roll over your toes, come into your first downwards facing dog. We're going to shift the hips side to side, drop the feet to the right, drop them to the left, pedal out the feet. We're going to do some flowy dog, so nice and easy movement from downwards facing dog into high plank and back to down dog. So let's take an inhale, lifting up onto your toes, round through the spine, so you flow forward, high plank, keep that roundness of the upper back, dropping down, inhale, upwards facing dog, and exhale, roll over the toes, downwards facing. Again, lifting up onto your toes, round and roll forward, high plank, turn over your toes, inhale, upwards facing, roll over your toes, exhale, downwards. Start to flow at your own pace. Try to make every movement intentional. Stay with the pace of your breath. Inhale, lift the heels, round forward. Exhale, drop the back, toes down. Inhale, lift the chest through. Exhale, downwards facing. One more time. I'll pick the right leg up on the next breath in. Three-legged dog. Open up the hip. Finding even balance through your hands. Grounding down through the fingers. Inhale, come to center. Stepping that right foot through. Back knee down onto the floor. So from here you can bring your hands down to the floor or use a block. Let's take an inhale, easy twist. Exhale, look and point back towards your toes. Maybe bend the back knee, grabbing for the top of the foot, gentle quad stretch. And we'll release, bring our hands back into center. Heel toe the right foot to the outer edges of the mat. We're going to come down into dragon pose. So again, remember, using your blocks if you need, bring the floor up towards you. Otherwise, we're going to come onto our hands or move down onto the forearms. So finding a comfortable level for you here where you can feel stretched through the hip flexors as well as the hip joint. So you want the knee to slowly splay out to the side if that feels comfortable. Give it a gentle push, hands to the inner thigh, pressing down to your forearm or hand. Inhale, let's look up. Exhale, we're going to push our hands into the thigh and drop the shoulder to the center. Inhale, looking up. Gentle push of the knee out as you look up over our right shoulder. Exhale, turn it down to the inside. Gentle twists. External rotation through the top shoulder. Exhale, push in, dropping the right shoulder to the center. Let's take a few flows here on our own time from your forehand or from your hand. Last time, breathing in. Lean back. Exhale, come to the center. From here, we're going to make our way into our full dragon pose. So holding this position a little bit longer, more yin style now. So as we are in yin pose, we want to make sure we're not moving or fidgeting too much in the posture. So take a few seconds to get comfortable. Check your back knee, make sure your knee is well supported. Notice how we feel in this right hip, the outer hip. Bring as much support as you need. Maybe rest our forehead onto a block. Begin to relax the shoulders, relax the neck, relax the head. A few more deep breaths on the side. As you prepare to come out, walk yourself back onto the hands. If you're down on your forearms, inhale to center. Remove the blocks off to the side, closing up the knee joint, heel toe the foot back into the middle. Let's curl our toe, lift the back knee, step back, downwards facing dog, gentle. Push up the heels towards the floor, side to side movements, nice and slow. And we'll pick up the left leg. Inhale, three-legged dog, push up. Exhale, open up the hip. Allow the left hip to stack on top of the right. Breathing into the hamstrings, into the side body. And look forward. Big step of the foot all the way to the top of the mat. Coming up onto your fingertips. Right hand can stay on the floor or a block. Let's take an easy twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we turn to look back, fingers pointing towards the toes. Option to continue reaching, or we bend the back knee, coming into a quad stretch. Drawing that heel in towards the hips. Lean forward to get a little bit deeper into the right hip flexors. Steady breathing, noticing the parts of their body that are feeling a little bit tight. Sending our breath to those areas, and exhale, release all the way back down. From here, we're going to heel toe our left foot all the way to the outer edges of the mat. So setting up for dragon pose. So we're going to stay in this stance first. Work on our shoulder mobility. So from your hand or your forearm, we're going to take our left hand, place it to the inside of the left knee. As we breathe in, we're going to push away, look up, and maybe adding a slight twist to our spine. Exhale, turning back to the inside, drop this left shoulder towards the center as we look over towards the right. Breathing in, inhale, maybe give a little push to that left knee as we look up. Exhale, internal rotation of the left shoulder. So moving slowly here at your own pace, coming down onto your forearm if you feel comfortable. I'm going to find a few more flows. Noticing where we're feeling the movement the most. Try to consciously breathe to those areas of the body, using your breath to signal the body to relax those muscles. And last one. We're going to come into our full dragon pose now. So grab for your block if you need. You can stack them underneath your hand, on your forearm, or just use it to support the neck or head. So allow this left knee to drop out to the side if it feels comfortable. You can stay up high or begin to move down. So like I said, we're going to be here for a few minutes. So finding your breath, finding your position that's going to work for you. So I'm going to place the block underneath at my forehead, allowing my left knee to fall out to the side. I'm going to take a few deep breaths, relaxing through the left hip joint, finding length through the right hip flexors, soft neck and shoulders as we relax the body. And at the end of your next breath, let's start to make our way out of the posture. Coming up onto your hands, remove any props around you. Bring this knee back to close, nice and easy, moving it back to center. And we'll step back, downwards facing dog, nice and easy. Pick up the left leg, gently walk it back, press it out. Pedaling out the feet, dropping the heels down one at a time. And let's pick up our right leg on the next breath in. Exhale, open up the hip. See if we can come up onto our right fingertips. Push a little bit deeper, turning your chest out to the side. Adding a deeper stretch to the side of the body, opening through the hip flexors. And look forward, stepping the right foot all the way to the top of the mat, keeping your back knee lifted. Left hand onto the floor, onto a block. Let's take an easy twist. Right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to reach the hand forward towards the front of the mat, actively stretching through your fingertips. Exhale, take the arm all the way down. Turning the palm up, big inhale breath. Reaching forward, exhale all the way down. So again, we're targeting the shoulder joint here. If you have a little bit more mobility, we're gonna reach the arm all the way back. So leaning the chest back, reaching the hand behind you. Exhale, take it all the way down. A few cycles here. And last time. Exhale, hands to the ground. Drop your back knee on the floor. Let's come up into our low lunge. So from our lunge, we want to make sure our front knee is directly over our front ankle. Back knee should be comfortable. Cushion it if you need a little bit extra support. So finding your blocks. Let's place the blocks underneath our shoulders. Lifting up through the chest. 3 heights to the block. You can place them lower or bring them higher depending on where your hands are falling. Let's take a few deep breaths in our low lunge pose. Chest is lifted, crown of the head reaching up, deep breath in, long spine. Exhale, shoulders relaxing, lengthening through the neck. Gently press down either into the floor or into your blocks. And we'll bring the hands down onto the floor or keep them onto blocks, shifting into half splits. So pulling the hips back, right ankle will flex, toes pointing up. We're going to walk our hands back. Keep the chest lifted, spine is staying straight. So we're not resting all the way back onto our heels. This doesn't do much for our hamstrings. So think about your hamstrings being tugged in both directions, from the heel as we push forward and from the sit bone as we reach the hips back. And if you can, let's start to bow forward, finding a forward fold, encouraging the forehead to come down towards the shin. Deep breaths. Try not to hold your breath here. And let's add these two postures into a nice easy flow. So on the breath in, we're going to walk forward, lifting up through the chest, low lunge. Exhale, pull the hips back, spine straight, maybe bow forward. Inhale, look up, rocking forward, low lunge. Exhale, shift the hips back, half splits. Adding a fold if it's there, or staying tall. Closing your eyes if you like as we move through these movements. When we start to take the complexity out of the movements and not guessing what pose is coming up next, we can just focus on 1 or 2 specific movements and then building that into our muscle memory. And once our body's familiar with these postures, we can forget about what we're doing and focus more on our breathing, which is the intention of the yoga practice, the practice of the breath, and the movement will follow. Last time, inhale, coming forward, low lunge. Exhale, hips back, half splits. Pausing here, taking your left hand down onto the floor, onto a block. Let's take an easy twist, reaching right arm up. Option for a half bind, bend your elbows, take your right hand towards the low back or sacrum. Chest stays lifted, shoulders open, lean back. And exhale, let's release. Bring the hands down towards the ground. Curl the toe, lift the knees, we'll step back, downwards facing dog, flush it out. Take 3 deep breaths in your downwards facing dog. And we'll sweep the left leg up, and on the next breath in, start to open up your hip, finding your way into a three-legged dog. If you're balanced, we're going to come up onto our left fingertips. So come up onto our left hand, pressing down, try to keep your elbows straight. Finding balance on your left fingertips. And come forward, stepping that foot all the way through, keeping your back knee off the ground. Right hand on the floor or onto a block. Inhale, open up, easy twist. Left hand reaching up. Exhale, we reach forward and all the way down. Turning the palm up, inhale, nice big arm circles. Actively reaching through the fingertips, finding more length through the side body as you exhale. Now, option to reach back, open through the chest, adding onto a twist. Deeper circles here. So we're not just stretching into the shoulder joints anymore, we're trying to open up through the pectoral muscles, so the front of the body. One more circle. Inhale, lift, maybe reach back. Exhale, windmill all the way down. And we drop the back knee onto the floor. Let's come up onto our fingertips, making our way into a low lunge pose. So if you need to reach for blocks underneath the hands, 3 heights to the block. You can take your hand to your front thigh or rest your hand onto the floor. Let's take a moment, find our alignment, joints stacked, knee over ankle, chest stays lifted, crown the head, reaching upwards, shoulders rolling back and down, relaxing through the upper body, finding stillness in the body, sending breath to the right hip flexors. Great time to check in with our breathing. See if we are perhaps holding on to our breath, not taking full advantage of our lung capacity. Let's take 3 full deep breaths here. Inhale through your nose, filling the belly, feeling the ribs rise, chest rise and expand, and exhale slowly all the way down to the pit of the belly. 2 more breathing. Exhale is slower or longer than the inhalation. Let's take our hands down to the floor, shifting the hips back, coming into our half splits pose. So left ankle will flex, toes point up, sit bones pushing towards the heels. We're not sitting on our heels. So maintain tension through our hamstrings and our calves along the left leg. Gaze forward. So you can stay here, keep the back nice and straight, spine long. If you have the flexibility in the hamstrings, you can start to bow forward, tipping from the hip, chest stays forward, reaching the crown of the head towards the toes. Exhale, we bow. Breathing here into the backs of the legs. Try to keep weight even in your right and left leg. And we're going to look forward like we did on the other side, connecting these 2 postures. So inhale, we're going to come forward, lifting up through the chest, low lunge. On the exhale, shifting the hips back, walking the hands back for balance, pulling the sit bones back. Flowing at your own pace now. Maybe closing the eyes. Nothing crazy in our movements, so try to focus on the pace of our breath. Slow and steady inhales and exhales. Inhale, so you come forward, low lunge, chest lifts. Deep breath out as you pull the hips back, maybe bowing forward. Last one. Inhale, coming into our low lunge. Exhale, pull it back. We're going to stay here. Take an easy twist. Right hand down, left arm up. Inhale, lift and twist. Option to bend your top elbow. Bring the left hand towards the low back or sacrum. Imagine you're leaning against the wall. Continue to lean back. Pull that top shoulder behind you. Look up. And exhale, release, coming all the way back down. We're going to pick up the back toes, lift the knee, and shift into a side lunge. So we're going to bend into our left leg. Right leg will extend. So if your hips are a little bit tight, we're going to come forward, taking the weight more into our hands. A block is great for support here. And as you get a little bit more flexible in the hips, you'll be able to drop down, maybe even come up onto your fingertips, or bring your hands into Namaste prayer position. Right ankle, so the ankle of the leg that is extended is going to flex. Keep that leg engaged, keeping the tension in the backs of our legs. Now let's take an inhale, coming up, crawling over to the other side. Stay on your hands. If your hips are tight, use blocks if needed. Slowly exhale, drop the hips down. Now our left leg is going to extend. Ankles are flexed, toes pointing up. Hands on the floor, on the block, or bring them to your hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Exhale, side to side, side lunges. Inhale to center. Exhale, sink down. Nice and easy, move with your breath. Use your hands, use your props if you need. Borrowing a little bit of a yin concept here. We're not looking for precise alignment. As long as we're getting the stretch, we can use anything we need to make the pose a little bit more accessible and comfortable for us. One more time, side to side. Inhale to center. Exhale over to your right. And let's come back over to the left. Bring the hands down. Let's look forward. And we'll bring the knee back into child's pose. Big toes together. Knees together. Exhale, dropping our forehead down. Hips back towards the heels. Arms extended, or bring the hands back. Palms facing up. Take a few breaths here to unwind. Catching your breath. And at the end of your next breath, let's walk the hands back out. Take an inhale, look forward, coming into a table position. From your table, we're going to walk the right leg back, crisscross the knees, setting up for cow face pose. So as you come back, you're going to Walk the feet to the edges of the mat facing opposite directions and push back until you're sitting on both sit bones. If you need, place a block underneath your sit bones. If this is really uncomfortable for the knees, you can always extend the bottom leg out. So finding your way into your version of cow face pose. We're going to reach for our strap or just keep it nearby for the next portion. Sitting down, again, we need to be able to sit down on a flat surface, either on a block or directly on the floor. Toes are pointing out in opposite directions. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, we're going to twist over to the right side. Easy seated twist. Grounding down through the sit bones, maybe looking back behind your right shoulder. Inhale, coming up to center. Exhale, twist over to the left. Grounding down through the sit bones as you breathe in. Twisting a little bit deeper as you exhale. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, over to the right. We're going to move a little bit faster just with our breath. So on the inhale, we're going to bring the hands up. On the exhale, we're going to twist. Side to side movement. Inhale, root down, grow tall, lengthen the spine. Exhale, we twist. Again, feel free to close the eyes here. Very easy movements, helping you to forget about the physical aspect of the practice, getting you to think a little bit more, listen and feel the breathing that's going on. Full deep belly breathing. Inhale through your nose, exhale fully and completely. One more on each side. And last one, over to the left. And we'll come back to center. Let's take an inhale, reach the arms up. We're going to bend the top elbow with our right hand grabbing for the tricep. Stretching to our shoulders. Try to keep your chest lifted, looking up. You can even rest your head in the elbow pit. Help to push the shoulder back. Stay here, or we reach underneath here. You can grab for a strap. So take the strap in your right hand. We're going to throw it behind. So using the strap to help you connect your hands together behind your back. And always just use your fingertips. Stand nice and tall, open through the chest, pull the elbows back. And let's take 5 deep breaths here. Walking the fingers down if you feel good and no sharp pains or pulling in anywhere in your shoulder joints or sockets. Keep the spine tall as you breathe in and out. Try to relax the shoulders. Last breath. And we'll release, place the strap off to the side. Let's come forward, uncross the knees, back into your tabletop, and we'll switch to the other side. So we're going to cross the left knee over the right and walk yourself back until you're in a seated position on the floor or sit up onto a block. Remember, if you want, you can kick out the bottom leg, a little bit less compression through the knee joints. If that feels comfortable, you can sit in that position. So give yourself a second. Setting up, toes are pointing in opposite directions, both sit bones on the ground. Cow face pose. Take a breath or two, sitting down, rooting down through the sit bones, shoulders relaxed. On this side, we're going to reach the arms up. As we exhale, we're going to drop our right hand down onto the floor or onto a block, lateral bend. So you can start to bend a little bit into the elbow. If you're feeling pretty flexible, you can drop the forearm down towards the ground. Top shoulder is leaning back, get the chest open. Nice oblique side stretch. Now let's push all the way up, dropping your left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, give a gentle bend to your bottom elbow, and we start to bend. Maybe forearm comes all the way down to the ground. Try not to lift your sit bones. If you find that your right sit bone is starting to come off the floor, trying to compensate for that movement, we're going to push back down, and you'll find you get a deeper stretch through the side of the body into the ribs. Let's come up. Inhale through center. Exhale, hand or forearm down to the ground. And of course, connecting to the breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, lean. So just moving through simple lateral movements. Again, bring our focus back to our breath. I invite you to close the eyes as we move through a few flows here, matching the movement to your breath. Deep breath in as we come up through center. Exhale, lateral stretch. Continue to move at your own pace. One breath, one movement. Last time, one more on each side, over to the right. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. And we'll breathe it in, come back up to center. This time, reaching the arms, we're going to bend the right elbow. Left hand catches the tricep, stretching into our shoulders. Lean the head back into the elbow pit. Add a little bit of resistance, also creating a pillow for the back of your head. Stay here, or we take our bottom hand, reaching that left hand behind. You can reach for a strap or bring the fingers together if you have the flexibility. Sitting up nice and tall once you're in position. 5 deep breaths. So as you're in this posture, take a quick scan, especially in the neck and shoulders. Make sure we're not hunching. We're leaning back, chest stays open. No pain in the shoulder joints. You should be able to breathe comfortably. Last breath in this posture. And let's release your fingers, release the straps. And we'll come forward, uncross the ankles. And we'll take a seat, swing the legs forward into a seated position. Walking your feet to the edges of the mat, setting up for a reverse tabletop position. We're going to bring our right hand down to the floor behind us, so palms down, fingers to the back. Take an inhale. We're going to press down, lift the hips up, reverse tabletop, and exhale, drop it down. Switching side, bring your left hand down, inhale, lift up. Continue to drive the hips up as you reach the hand behind you. Exhale, bring it down. If this feels pretty good, we're going to come down onto our forearms. So bring your forearm down onto the floor. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze the knees together, lift the hips up high, and exhale, coming down, switching sides. Nice and gentle back bend. One more on each side, hand or forearm. Last one. And coming down, take a seat. Let's make our way down into a supine position. From here, a couple options. You can grab for your block. We're going to do a supported shoulder stand or shoulder stand. So supported version, we're going to lift the hips up, place it onto the flattest side of the block, pull the knees in towards our chest, exhale, kick the heels straight up into the air. Flex and point your toes a few times, give your ankles a turn. Just allowing the legs to be soft. Weight of the body supported by the block. Arms come beside the body, palms facing up. Great way to relax and rewind in this posture. Not much energy is expended here. Great way to decompress through the knee joints. Chest is lifted, shoulders down. So you can stay here or come into our shoulder stand. So palms open, we're going to kick up, bring the hands towards our low back, point the toes up. We're balancing on our shoulders, pressing the triceps into the floor. Taking a breath or two here. Now we're going to hinge from our hips, come into plow pose. Allow the toes to touch back behind. Interlace the fingers if you have a balance. So 3 options for inversion: supported shoulder stand, or coming all the way into plow pose. 5 deep breaths wherever you are. Last posture and inversion to close our practice today. Slowly come out, support your low back, bring it into shoulder stand, tuck the knees, and gently roll all the way down. If you're on your block, we're going to pull the knees back in towards our chest, lower the feet down one at a time, press into the feet, slide the block out from under, and let's come all the way down. We're going to keep the feet hip distance apart, so at the edges of the mat. Drop the knees towards the center. So modify Savasana position. This will allow us to decrease the gap between our spine and the mat. As in Savasana, we're lying fully in a supine position. There's a natural curve to our spine. So we just want to bring it into a bit more neutral position. Now let's take our hands beside our body, palms facing up, closing the eyes here. Begin to unwind, allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythms. Nothing strained, nothing forced. Feel free to stay in Savasana for as long as you like to complete your practice. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kathy. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, yogis, for joining me in this class. I hope you enjoyed our slow flow. If you like this class, remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to receive more videos just like this. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Namaste.